Sweet. Looks like we're good to go. What in the hell is that? Okay. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. This is your boy Narik Chase, and I'm going to be doing another continuing on with the best and worst horror movies of the 80s. Um, so I hope you guys enjoyed the first video and hope this one could be just as entertaining. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. We're going to continue on with the discussion with 1985 Fright Night. Going to say right now, did not like it. The only thing that this movie had going for it, the only thing, and I don't care what nobody says, is the dude that played Chris Sarandon, who played Jerry. That's the only thing I liked about this freaking movie. And the girl that played Amy, I thought she was good too. I didn't like nothing else about this movie. I thought it was stupid. I thought the script was poorly written. I think it had too much of that 80s charm that they put in movies the 80s that seem to have that didn't make any sense. Now, granted, the plot is a great one. A young man ends up learning that a vampire moves in next door. So he has to deal with it. But the problem with the movie is just how badly it's written. Did not like most of the performances. Like I said, Chris Sarandon was awesome, fantastic. Dude just own that role. The girl that played Amy, Charlie's girlfriend, she was great. Everything else about this movie sucked. Um, but like I said, it's mostly the writing. Things happen that don't make any sense. Things happen that are way too freaking convenient. The movie just doesn't make any sense to me. So I definitely don't like it. I love the remake. Don't like this one. Again, Chris Sarandon, thumbs up to you, buddy. You definitely you managed to pull the weight of this movie. Just everything else just made it come crashing down. And for that, I am terribly sorry. But you're still awesome. In 1982, we have Creepshow, which is an anthology of different horror stories, and they are freaking awesome. There's Father's Day, which I thought was all right. There's the Lonesome, the one with Stephen King was in. I thought that was pretty good. There is the one with Leslie Nielsen, which I liked. I thought that one was okay. My favorite one is the crate, where the man ends up discovering there's this beast that's living in this crate in this school. I like that one. That's my favorite one out the bunch. And then there's they're creeping up on it, which is my second favorite. It's following this rich guy who's a douchebag who just can't stand roaches, and roaches are just popping up everywhere. I love it. So Creepshow anthology, I really enjoyed. Thought it was great. Thought it had some great horror aspects to it. Thought it had a lot of comedy to it, but I did really appreciate the horror aspects as well. Um, and plus, it didn't help. I grew up on it. Child's Play 2. Oh, I'm sorry. Child's Play, which came out in '88, follows this woman who is trying to protect her son from this killer doll who happens to be possessed by the spirit of this killer. Great movie. It was really interesting. I love the practical effects of the Chucky character, which again added so much towards pushing the slasher film genre. And it was really good. It has a lot of great moments, and I'm not gonna lie. Uh, I can't remember the guy's name that plays Chucky. What's that fool's name? He is just hilarious. Brad Dourif, great. Love the man. The man is freaking awesome. He plays he's just awesome as Chucky. He does that character justice. Really enjoyed his character. And It's a really interesting story and original story. Now, maybe not original, because I've seen some movies where dolls were killing people, but it's a good story nonetheless. There's Halloween 2. I'm on the fence about the Halloween series because it reminds me much like the Nightmare on Elm Street, much like the Friday the 13th. It's a very inconsistent series that should have been ironed out a lot better than what it was. But I realized that they were trying to capitalize on this whole supernatural slasher the supernatural slasher uh, thing that they had going in the 80s. So it again, Michael Myers is trying to kill his niece, I believe, Jamie Lee Curtis's character, who I keep forgetting the freaking chick's name, but yeah, he's Laurie Strode. I'm sorry. He Michael Myers returns once again to try to kill Laurie Strode, and Dr. Loomis is there to try to stop him. Uh, it's again, it's very inconsistent. It's one of those where like Michael Myers should have died in the first one, but he didn't. So, and plus, I didn't really like the first one, so I'm not really too happy for this one either. So, for those who like it, I guess that's cool, but I'm not one of them. Now, I did really enjoy this film. Came out in '87, my birth year. The Lost Boys. There are some things about the movie that I did realize were could have been worked out a little bit better, but overall, I really did enjoy this movie. I have always enjoyed it since I was younger. It's about this family of three, this mother and her two sons, who ends up going to go stay with her father in this small town, which they end up discovering is being plagued by this group of riffraff, these group of vagabonds who they discover are vampires and they're killing people. I love the movie because it's like got really good characters. It has really good, and not to mention the soundtrack is just freaking phenomenal. It's great. Has a lot of really memorable songs to it. What's the one song? If you're strange, da 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 da. When you're strange, or something like that. That one's really good. It was a fantastic. Um, I didn't really like the Gecko Brothers in the movie because I found them to be stupid. They kind of remind me of Vincent in Fright Night, which I hated his character. So I kind of feel that same way about the Gecko Brothers in this movie because it seems like you got something goofy, like these goofy ass guys in this really serious movie, and I'm really more interested in the brothers and their relationship because their relationship is actually what drives the movie. They're great together. They have really good chemistry together, and I'm not gonna lie, the vampires are actually pretty cool too. But the most memorable one is the lead vampire guy. So when it comes to like blood and brutality, this movie has it. The kills are gory. They're brutal. They're very intense. But it's the main guy that I can't remember the guy's name in the movie, but he was fantastic. He was a great character. I really enjoyed him. I think his name was Keith Sutherland. The main guy is Keith Sutherland, and I do, yeah. I really did like the Lost Boys. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, the David, yeah, which is Keith Sutherland, I believe. No, is that him? I think that's Keith Sutherland. I want to be sure because I don't want to. I don't want to sit there and lie. Okay, yeah, yeah, Keith Sutherland. I really enjoyed Keith Sutherland in the movie. He stole the show. He had the best lines. He had the best moments. He just definitely just a scene stealer. But I really did enjoy the relationship between these two brothers, Sam and Michael. I thought they were funny. I thought they were really realistic. They had a lot of great chemistry together. But as far as the horror aspect, it is done really well. The practical effects are good. The camera angles are they're good. They're good. The just the intensity of the kill sequences and the dark atmosphere. It's just and it's very suspenseful as well. So it's a very good movie and still holds up to this day. So The Lost Boys definitely gets a thumbs up. With that being said, let's continue on. Pet Cemetery came out in '89. It's about this family that I believe end up moving to this house, and soon after their young toddler dies. So they end up burying this toddler on this, I believe, Indian ground. And it's said that whoever dies and is buried here comes back to life, and the toddler comes back to life, and unfortunately ends up having this like very malevolent I want to say force that's making him kill people. So baby comes back, starts killing people. I really enjoyed the movie. I really enjoyed it. I think it's kind of silly that the baby was going around killing these grown people, but maybe I need to read the book. But I could say that it was a good movie. It was an interesting movie. I really liked the story, but I kind of see it in the same vein as I see as the Chucky movies. Like, how can you get killed by a dog? How could you get killed by a little toddler? Same thing. But this is still an interesting and entertaining movie. Um, I'm going on the list, so I might end up skipping some movies without even noticing. I'm going to go ahead and address A Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and A Nightmare on Elm Street 3. I liked, I thought 2 was good because it continues the seriousness of Freddy Krueger. You should see him from a serious side. Yes, he has some one-liners, but he's still pretty serious. One thing I didn't like is the main character. I hated him. I thought he was stupid. He was a whiny jackass. Didn't like his character, and I didn't like the whole like sexual nature of the movie as well, because I thought that was a little bit too forced. But as far as the story, I thought it was interesting. Freddy Krueger is at it again. This time he's trying to take over the body of a young man. I wish the movie could have been done better, and I'm not gonna say it's a terrible movie, but I'm not gonna say it's the best movie, but it's a movie that's entertaining, good to watch. I liked A Nightmare on Elm Street 3. My problem with 3 is, and it's the Dream Warriors. Everybody likes the Dream Warriors because it expands a little bit more into the dream world, I guess you could say. But the problem with the Dream Warriors to me, and then after this I go to the positives. I don't know much about the kids. Yes, they're in this hospital and all this stuff, but there's no build up of Freddy Krueger messing with them, and you don't know much about the kids. Now that being said, it's a great movie because this is where you see Freddy Krueger be a little bit more goofier. You see Nancy's character come back. You see these characters that you do end up coming to like. I do like them characters. There isn't so much the horror aspect to it. I mean, yes, it's a slasher, and yes, they get killed in some pretty messed up and brutal ways. But as a horror movie, I think it's a little bit light. A little bit light, especially with how goofy Freddy Krueger is in the movie. But it's still one of my favorite, and probably my favorite Freddy Krueger movie. But it's still enjoyable. I really enjoyed the movie. So let's go ahead and get on. I would say Night of the Demons. I don't remember it. I think I did see it, but I don't remember it. Critters. I've seen it. Do not remember it. It was about these little aliens that look like fur balls that eat you up and stuff. It was crazy. I just don't freaking remember the damn movie. Friday the 13th. It's one of those movies I'm on the fence about. As far as the horror aspect, it's a good horror movie, but the storytelling and the characters freaking suck. It's stupid. Yes, there's a killer that's on the loose in the movie killing these people all, but the execution sucks. The characters are stupid. All they ever talk about is this Camp Crystal Lake. They don't talk about nothing else in the freaking movie. When they start dying off, I don't give a damn about them. And then when it's the reveal of who actually is killing people, the movie doesn't support it. It's like this character came out of freaking nowhere. So honestly, I don't like. Screw it. I don't like the Friday the 13th. I don't care what nobody says. Halloween 3, didn't see it. Ghoulies came out '85. I don't remember it, so I'm not gonna talk about that much. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, don't remember it. Children of the Corn, I think I've seen it. No, I think I've seen the remake, but I think I've seen this one too, but I don't remember it. Return of the Living Dead that came out in '85. I'm trying to remember if I've seen this one or not. Yeah, I have seen this one. This is the one. Yeah, this is the one where old girl, the pink haired chick, got infected and she became a zombie and she was just eating a hell lot of people, I believe. Yeah, this was it. My problem with that, I mean, it's a good horror movie. It's a good zombie flick. Again, with that movie, they kind of suck with the characters a lot. Like they don't give you really no memorable characters, but it's still funny. It's entertaining. It's dark. One of the things I do not like about the this movie is like the kills. I want to see like them getting their brains ate out, but it's still a freaking awesome movie, and the soundtrack is just straight up stupid. It's fun, but it's stupid. Of course, we have The Blob. They came out in '88, guys. Tell me that y'all seen The Blob. The Blob is one of the best horror movies that's not only came out in the '80s, but just come out altogether. It's a great idea for a movie. It's interesting. It's entertaining. Yes, the practical effects aren't. I mean, the practical effects are good. Yes, the CGI and all of that stuff aren't. They don't hold up at all to nowadays. But it's still a great movie with a great story. Great characters, great use of practical effects. It's just an all-around awesome ass movie. One of my favorites. Um, and I guess I will leave off here on Night of the Creeps that came out in '86. Now this one was an interesting movie. It's about these alien slugs that end up coming to Earth and they end up going into this little town. And what they basically do is they infect the host by inserting themselves through the mouth, basically turning them to zombies, and they use the host as an incubator to create even more. Sometimes a strong method that they use is they shoot the like their offspring out of the mouth into the mouth of somebody else, or their body just basically collapses and their head splits open like an egg and multiple slugs come out. It's a very gross, and it does have some story issues here and there, some character issues, but it's a great movie. It's interesting. It's entertaining. There's a lot to like about it. What's that one guy that's always in this freaking '80 movie who plays like a cop? Uh, Tom Atkins. Yes, Tom Atkins is in the film. Dude's freaking awesome. I love watching him and these just retarded ass movies in the '80s. I remember seeing him in Maniac Cop, which I'm not sure if that came out in the '80s, but if it came out in the '80s, Maniac Cop wouldn't have bad. It's an interesting movie. There's some things they could have done better with it, but I thought it was a really entertaining and fun movie as well for a horror movie. But I'm going to go ahead and leave off here, guys. In the comment section below, let me know what your thoughts are on this list of movies that I've come up with the best and worst horror movies of the '80s. Also, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button. And please let me know if you agree with my thoughts about some of these movies. Are some better than the ones that I've mentioned, some worse than the ones that I mentioned. And I will definitely catch you guys on the next video. Till the next time, Narik Chase signing out.